Obi here. We're gonna do something a little different today. I'm gonna play a course that was in the TGCTours forums, in the not accepted folder or thread or whatever it's called. And we're gonna look at why, in my opinion, that was, and what could have been done to make it better. And so some guys out there designing who maybe are looking for feedback of courses on their own, hopefully this would help them with their courses to help them understand maybe some of the mistakes that get made on the TGC Tour side of things, but to me, which also get made just when it comes to making a golf course. So, I mean, right away, we've got all kinds of objects everywhere, which is not necessarily bad. It's how we've used them. And, you know, none of this really matters that much, but nice clubhouse. Kind of, you've done the mulch parking lot. Sure, why not? Windmill. And then from above, okay. Nothing too crazy here. Thank you. What is the course name? Ooh. Right, the Moonlight Valley. I'm not gonna put the guy's name is pretty pretty generic, and I don't really want to call him out anyways. So this isn't to have a crack at anyone. It's just to basically be like, okay, here's a course that wasn't approved, and here's maybe some things about why. And maybe it helps some people. So first things first, yeah, the mow lines, particularly on the tee, they look a bit rough. Our tee shot, this grass here is blocking everything up here. So we basically have a blind tee shot, and when we get up here, there's water that we got to carry. It's a dam of some kind. The big issue with this though is it's what, 275 or something to get to the fairway, and there's nowhere else you can hit it. I mean, I guess you could hit it over into the rough here. David, how's it going? But if I'm using say a 285 driver and I'm into the wind, am I able to make this fairway? And if not, what am I supposed to do? So something to keep in mind. We need to have some options. So I mean, I think it's reasonable to assume that I should be able to hit a driver onto a fairway. I should at least be able to reach it. Now we're downwind, and I've got the big boy driver, so we're getting there comfortably. But again, could have been into the wind. And then our second shot, the bunker sculpting is pretty harsh. You can see how it's very vertical here. It's very much like a bathtub. Transition to green isn't fantastic. It's not awful though. The green size isn't too bad for par 5, I wouldn't say. We've got a lot of empty space out here. Which maybe wouldn't affect whether or not it's going to be accepted into the database, but it's just, that's something to keep in mind, is that doesn't look fantastic. I'm in between clubs here as always, so let's try and partial 3 wood. And again, we can't really see what's going on up here. Oh, I partialed it too much. Needs a big bounce. That's fine. Yeah, so big boy driver, you're fine. It's if you don't use that driver, which there's a lot of very good players who don't. There's a lot of very good players that are using a driver that goes 285. So you get that in the wind, you get problems. So yeah, right away, the first tee shot, I'm already kind of going, oh geez, here we go. It's gonna, you know, I'm already starting to form an opinion. This tee shot, again, I can't really see where the fairway is. I just have all this dead space here. We could raise the tee a little bit and we might be able to see where we're going. There's all these bunkers here. Can't see any of them. A 524-yard par 4. No, that's not short. And then where we're gonna have to hit the drive to, it's got this big kink in it, so can't like. Oh, yeah, that's not good. All right, well, we're not getting to the green in 2, but I hit a miserable shot, so I shouldn't be able to. Second shot's blind again. It's just this hole was basically about you must hit it on the fairway, otherwise you have no chance, and that was the entire strategy of it. Then we've got an aggressively front to back sloping green. So my question would be, on a 524-yard par 4, how are you supposed to stop the ball on this green? Because it's aggressively front to back at the front. It kind of comes down in the middle, and then it runs off the back. Now, it does run towards water, so I get the thinking behind it. But I just feel like more times than not, I'm off the back of this green. I'm gonna hit a pitch that's gonna, or sorry, a flop that should land about 13 yards short and see what happens. It's okay. Those butterflies are annoying. Okay, well, we make par. But I front to back, but in and of itself is okay at times. I just don't think on that shot, on that hole, I don't think it works, because I think the shot's already going to be running as it comes because of what you got to hit into it. So yeah, I think it works better on a shorter hole where you can actually stop the ball. The sculpting here is very just all of a sudden vertical for not really much of a reason. Again, we can't see it really. It's very bare up here. And this is probably the might be the best of the holes so far. But hey, Justin. And then just things like sculpting. We're 14 feet downhill, but we can't see anything because the way the sculpting's been done or not done. And again, we're going back to front, or sorry, front to back. And those butterflies again, they're annoying. So short enough shot here that we could actually hold it. This looks like the bunks have just kind of been dropped wherever the land is and not really sculpted at all. It's just whatever the land is sculpted. They are little things like this, where all of a sudden the bunker comes up and there's this tiny sliver of rough. It's nowhere close to being uniform. I mean, these are the things that are gonna cause issues when it comes to courses being accepted or not. I think one of the things that a lot of designers do, and a lot of designers don't realize, is how much time it takes the best designers to create golf courses, and how much effort they put into all the little niggly, you know, tedious stuff, like all the planting they would be doing around here, or you know, whatever else they'd be doing to make this all interesting. I don't think most designers realize that. So now we've got a par 3 over water that's kind of an island, but not quite. There's no chance. This is an impossible shot. Doing all right, Justin? How you doing? Congrats, buddy. It's 215. Front to back the whole way, and it's 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, like 40-ish feet. 40-ish feet from the front to the back of the green. You have no chance. The only way this can possibly stay on the green is if you land it in this rough right there, and it gets a trickle, and then it gets down there. It's the only chance you have. There's no way. So this is not playable. Let's see what we do. I'm playing on pin set 2. There's a reason I do that. It's because a lot of times designer mistakes really show up on pin 2. Even that landed in the rough and it's going through. And then you've, on a 215 yard par 3, you've stuck the pin on a yellow slope. Nothing, I mean, it's not illegal or anything from TGC Tour purposes, but I don't think it's the best way to do it. Yeah, somebody's mentioned, oh, that is a hell of a hike. Wow. So these are things you need to be looking at as well. Now, one of the things to remember is that TGC Tours course database, its reason for existing, or its reason that it existed originally, was to collect courses for tour events. And I think that's still kind of the thought process, right? Because you still have to have 4 pins on your course. Some of the other rules. And so if there's a course that never ever would be on tour, yeah. The bunkering here again, it's just like this sinkhole here. It's very uninteresting as well. Other than the first hole, it's been, you know, tee box, boring, dead land, and then fairway. Straightforward par 4. Not really offensive in any way. Not really memorable in any way. Front to back green again. Actually, pretty good slope to it too. Just as well we could hit lob wedge in here. Routing's always a problem. Oh, hey Celtic. Yeah, my understanding is this guy has submitted quite a lot of courses too and gets similar feedback every time. So it's the view from behind the player matters a lot. Oh, the wind's that way now, is it? Okay. Oh, he does? So then that brings up a question for me. What are the reasons that people want their course to be in the database? Oh, nice push. I did see a couple of this guy's posts. He's only got 5 on there on the board, on the forum, but then they go back 2 or 3 years. He's got 5 in like a couple of years. And a couple of them have been, please play my course. I only need this many to get it handicap rated. Yeah, I would agree with that, Charlie. Yeah, so yeah, again, sculpting here, 100% because this isn't sculpted, we can't see anything. It's sloppy. And if you've been submitting this many courses to TGC Tours and you know what they're asking for, you should know better. Oh. Well, that might explain why he's only had so many posts. So he's changed his name a bunch. Okay, that sculpting there is bad. It just looks a bit goofy. Just with that water left. It's very, very artificial. His green shape is something. It's just everything's a bit too extreme here. Yeah, and that's the thing. That's what part of why I wanted to make this video. It's just to like show, because sometimes typing and telling doesn't help as much, but to show it. Like again, here, blind. I can't see where we're going. There's nothing to define where the fairway is. Not a single thing. So if you were playing, you can't play this in True Sim. Or I mean, I guess you could, but it'd be rough because you'd have to try to figure out what you got to aim at. And again, front to back. At least past the pin. Bunkering's kind of weird. It feels like at times, it's extremely bare. And then at other times, we've just thrown objects down just to have something on the ground. Not really a rhyme or reason to it. All right, there's a bit of a backstop for the front pin there, which helps a bit. But if you go long, you're off. You can do this. Can you do... Oh, that's a good question. Can you do the old F10? I'm not sure. Maybe. I think that was one of the reasons why... So people suggested when they moved to Pro, they were suggested removing the Scout Cam. And one of the reasons that was taken off was that people were like, well, on PC, you can just F10. So... Yeah, it's the way, I mean, the planting here is, why are we planting right in line with, I mean, I'm playing out to the right a bit because of the wind, but still, why is the planting coming all the way to here? It should be over here somewhere. Oh, that? Oh, yeah, you can use yardage book. I mean, if you couldn't use that, you'd have no chance. But again, like, so the question is why do people want to have their course in the database? What are the benefits people think they're getting from it? Why are we putting bunkers right in the fairway here? I don't think I've had a tee shot yet where I could really see where I was going. And again, 12 feet downhill, but can't see anything. So the reason I can think of is people want to get more plays on their courses. Okay. How many courses are in the TGCTours database? Thousands. So that's not going to work. The best way to get plays is to have your course featured on a society. And if you want it through TGCTours, well, then having it on tour would get it a crap ton of plays. All right. So that means you got to create a really good course to get it on their societies. So just like seeking an approved rating isn't going to get you anything. Okay, at least I can see where I'm going this time. But again, it's just there's so much dead space here. So, I mean, honestly, I think that this got lost approval right on the first tee shot because it's too big of a carry to the fairway. Everything after that's kind of been borderline. There's probably been enough unintentional blindness to do it if it wasn't for the first tee shot. But it's just, yeah. Greens are at 163. That's yellow. So we can't... What happens if we turn the speeds up a bit? Although I guess we can only go into 187, can't we? What happens if I learn how to putt? Okay. The thing I've noticed is the par fives, it seems like the, well, kind of the drive here is the danger, is the risk shot, but not really. Just very straightforward, hammer it out here. Now, what's going on at the green? Kind of reminds me of, like the fourth at, Bethpage Black. I mean, not as good, obviously, but having this kind of shallow raised green on a par five, and then there's, you can bail right. I guess. It's a second shot to a par five, so I guess. Ooh. "10-foot deep bunker." Eh. Might be a bit much. But the game, short game in this game is easy enough that it's probably okay. Welcome to the wall. Yeah, I don't know. Like, who is their target audience? Again, just sculpt this. Lower this. Lower these tees. You can see everything. Just, it's so... And the information's out there, too. That's the thing. It's very easy to find out what you need to do to get your course approved. It would have taken not very much time there at all to do the bare minimum to get that to be close to approval. Whoa, that thing ran a long way. Yeah. Okay, front to back again. I mean, I'm kind of running out of things to say about this course because it's kind of the same thing over and over again, really. Unintentional blindness, followed by a pretty uninteresting shot. Oh, here we go. Okay, so this sculpting here is odd. I'm not sure why there's a ravine there. This is a par 4 that's going to play... It's 514 as the crow flies. Unless this is a publish error. 579 par 4. Probably not Scoot. But maybe somebody else will see this and they will be wanting to. But to get the plays, you have to make a good course. Like, or maybe not. So, hit a decent drive. I've got 280 into a par 4. Okay, that's about right. I really do wonder if this is published here, although it's already a par 73. Yeah, I asked the same question, Scoot. Same as right up here by the green. Why is it the second shot blind? It's just, it seems, this course seems like this transition right here. It does feel rushed. Good call, Scoot. I mean, this is going to be a bit harsh, but okay, yeah. Just the end of the property. So we make par on the 570 yard par 4. That's fun. Just can't see anything. My guess is the designer is going to say, well, you have scout cam. Yeah, I do. First problem with that is, again, there are certain societies that don't use scout cam. Second one is, if I can't see what's going on from behind the player, I guarantee I'm going to find other issues. And the third problem is, I like to watch the ball from behind the player in the air. So when it's blind, I can't really do that. Now, there are some great blind tee shots that are absolutely cool being blind. These are not them. Why are the butterflies back? Yeah. Yeah, it definitely... Whoa. It definitely needed more time. So now we've routed ourselves into a spot where we got to go right angle. No, I refuse. That looked like a right angle to me. And I'll just take my chances from the rough. Depends how this comes out. So the other issue, it's a 90-degree dogleg, which in and of itself I'm not a fan of. But it's a 90-degree dogleg that's trivially easy to cut the corner on. I can't quite get to the fairway, but that's okay. The lighting's okay. There's just nothing really for the lighting to show. That's the problem. Like, just, we can't, I mean, maybe that's why this is blind, so we can't see it, because it's uninteresting, but every single hole, some trivial sculpting, just lower these tees a bit, we'll be able to see what's going on there and make a massive difference. And now we've got this gigantic green on a short par 4. Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with Charlie there. And the problem is that that's the least important part of the property. Instead of focusing on the course and fixing what needs to be fixed on the course, he focused on, well, let's make a cool clubhouse. Again, there's just not much to say. It's pretty boring tee shot that is now going to leave a blind second shot into a par 5 with a small green with a bunker in the middle of the fairway for no reason. I mean, it's there probably to stop people running it on, but there's better ways of doing that. Butterflies are flying everywhere. And there you go. It's unintentional blindness everywhere. Excuse me. Pretty uninteresting otherwise. Couldn't tell you a hole I played other than the first, because on the dog leg, that massive dog leg, those are the 2 holes I remember. The rest of them kind of blend together. It's just the honest answer of why wasn't this approved, because it wasn't good enough. It's breaking 2 of the big rules that TGCTours has for their courses to be submitted. So if you're a designer and you're wanting to submit to TGCTours, first thing I would suggest, go to the forum and actually read the guidelines. They're right there. They'll tell you exactly what you need to do to have your course be approved. There's a video there that B101 created that's super easy to understand, and it is very clear about here's what you need to do, here's what you need to avoid. And then when you get feedback, listen to it and actually incorporate it. Like, we've got a 579 yard par 4, a 509 yard, like things like this are silly too. 509 yard par 5, 546 yard par 4, 541 par 5, 579 par 4. I don't get it. We don't have any drivable par 4s, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. But it's just 7,700 yards, 4,100 on the back. I don't know. So hopefully that helps. If you're a new designer and you're wanting feedback on stuff, feel free to leave a mention or leave a comment in the comment section. Like and subscribe if you've enjoyed this. It helps with the algorithm and all that stuff. I'll be back with some more content soon. But for now, I'm going to say cheers.